Hey guys, it's Brad the Buff. I got my buff on my head and I'm ready to go. Today's video I want to talk to you about my sleeping pad and how I use my sleeping pad systems and the different ones I have. Sleeping pads are one of the most important things you can buy. In fact, it might be the first thing you want to spend your money on if you're trying to get out on the trail, because a good night's sleep is worth its weight in gold. So let me show you what I got in this video. I primarily use two different sleeping pads, and if I had to do it over again I might do something different, but I'll talk to you guys about that towards the end. But the main sleeping pads that I use are going to be the Thermarest Uberlite and the Thermarest Xtherm Max. These are completely different sleeping pads. They do completely different things, and that's why I ended up with two different ones. And I'll start off with the first pad that I got for backpacking. This is my Thermarest Xtherm Max. Now what makes it the Max is that it's squared. It's not tapered around the edges like say this one is. See how this one is rounded? The Max version of the Xtherm is square. And what that squaring of the body just gives you more space. Also, this is a long and a wide. So I got the biggest sleeping pad that I could get for me. I'm a 6'2" guy. I say that in a lot of videos. So I like to have the extra width and the extra length. I can lay on this thing and I am my feet are fully off the ground and I got plenty of space for my head. I am very comfortable. This pad is as comfortable as any kind of blow-up mattress you've ever had at your house. It's very thick. One of the main reasons I got this is a 4-season pad. I believe this one has a R rating. It's an older one, an R rating of 5.7, which is amazing for a sleeping pad. The R rating is how much insulation it's going to provide between you and the ground, because that's when you're sleeping where you're going to lose most of your heat, is by you conducting with the ground and the ground pulling the heat right out of you. If you've ever slept on the ground without a pad, you know what I'm talking about. The newer ones I believe are like 6.9 or something insane. But that R rating allows me to take this out in winter and be very comfortable, very insulated. And so a sleeping bag that may not be rated down to the temperature that, you know, say you have a 10-degree sleeping bag, well, it's going to be true to 10 degrees because I have this pad and I'm not losing heat from underneath of me. Some of the drawbacks of this pad is it is a bit heavier. It's 23 ounces. When I put it on my scale without the bag, it's a 23-ounce pad, which is a pretty heavy pad. You're at 1.5 pounds. I do think it's totally worth it in general, especially for the winter. If I go in the winter, this is the only pad that I will take. One of the drawbacks that I did not anticipate when I bought it is because that R rating is so great, this was my only sleeping pad, so when I used it in the summer, I was super duper hot. It reflects your own heat back into you, so if you got an 80-degree night and this is what's underneath of you, it's going to keep your heat with you like it's designed to do, but that makes you hot. And I sleep hot anyways. I wake up really hot all the time, even in the middle of winter. And so I found ultimately that I wanted to go with something that was lighter for the summer, that actually had a lower R rating and wasn't quite as robust as this one. So I actually went the total opposite end of this one, which is the Thermarest Xtherm, and I went with my Thermarest Uberlite. This thing is insanely light. It is 9 ounces. This is just the regular one. I wish, in retrospect, that I had bought the wide for sure. You can tell the difference in size. This one is the top one is 25 inches wide, and this one is 20 inches wide, which makes a pretty big difference. You can see the difference in length. This one is about a foot longer. Those features do make a big difference. The length doesn't bother me as much, but the width does. But this is an ultra light sleeping pad. It's also very comfortable. I don't have any problems other than I wish it was wider. But for my ultralight setup, for summer camping, this thing has been great. Both of these are very expensive mats. They're both around 200 bucks. I usually wait for them to go on sale. Like I said, the main reason I got this one is because it's got an insulation level on our rating of about 2, so almost a third of what this one. So it sleeps a lot cooler, which means that you're probably not going to want to take it with you on a winter trip or into late fall. So that kind of puts it out, but I have my other mat for that. But for summer, you want an ultralight pad, this is a very, very good one. One of the other things is they updated, it's very thin feeling. It feels like you're like a balloon. It doesn't feel like you're sleeping on a balloon. It feels pretty comfortable, but it feels like a balloon on the outside. It's incredibly light. I'm going to put pictures in the video and cut in to show you how small these things are packed up. This one's literally maybe twice the size of a Coke can. So that's going to help you shrink your bag size down. You don't need as big, as many liter backpack if you have stuff that takes up less volume in it. So that's another reason to take this. But also they updated, I got a small puncture on the trail, which I'm always terrified with these air pads. But their sealing is amazing. It's like this gumball thing you stick on here, and then you put a little square around it to keep it sticky, and it sealed up instantly. It took me like 2 minutes. I followed the directions, was really worried that it was going to leak. No problem at all. So both of these come with kits to if you puncture them out in the field. The updated kit they have with these, I recommend you keep them with you. It is super easy to use. It gets the job done, and you can't even see it. It's a very small spot right here. So I wouldn't be worried about that. But this is my, my ultralight pad that I do use for summer. The other thing I do is I have what people call a butt pad. This is also a Thermarest product. I think it's called a Z-Seat. It's like 15 bucks. It's very cheap. But what I typically do is I keep this with me. I use it as my sitting pad, but I also have it as a backup, and I usually will take my pad and put it like right in the middle where most of my weight is, like this, so that if there is a nail or something, if I'm sleeping in a shelter, that I'm at least getting, protecting the pad a little bit right in that area where I'd be most likely to puncture it. So I use it for that, and it is also good to have this in the event that one of these punctures and it can't be fixed. It doesn't look like much, but if it's very cold, I know one time I had to lend my sleeping bag to someone and I didn't have anything to sleep on. I would have loved to have had this because it was about 10 degrees out, and having anything underneath me would have been a plus just under my chest. So I do keep this as kind of a backup and as a butt pad. It serves two functions. This is the packaging that the Uberlite comes with, so you get an idea of how small it is, as you can see compared against me. And this is the patch kit it comes with. Overall, if I were to start from scratch right now with the products that are out there, I would recommend the Thermarest Xlite. It's literally right between these two products. These are the two extremes. One is for deep winter, super ultra comfortable, super big. One is if you want to go ultra light and you're sacrificing the ability to take it into winter. The Xlite has an R rating of 4, which once again, not the top, not the bottom, but that's good for summer, that's good for winter. It's right between the weight of these two. It's about 12 ounces to a pound, depending on the size that you get. I would highly recommend getting a wide. I would probably get a wide long for me. If you're under 6 foot, a regular is going to be just fine. I mean, this is a regular, and honestly, it works fine for me. But I don't care, even if you're not a super wide guy, getting a wide pad, I would just recommend it. It just makes it way more comfortable. My shoulders kind of hang off the side of this, and it's fine. It doesn't bother me that much, but I wish that I had just had the extra 2 or 3 ounces and gotten the wide. So my recommendation would be the Thermarest Xlite as your 4-season pad. It's not going to be as light as this one. It's not going to be quite as warm in the winter as this one. But if you're starting off and you want to buy one pad that's just great, do it all, is very, very light, the Thermarest Xlite is the one for you. These are both excellent pads, and they're for very specific things. You can't find a better ultralight pad, and you can't find a better pad that's going to take you deep into winter and is as comfortable as this one is. But once again, a great do-it-all is a Thermarest Xlite. I love the pads I have. I don't know if I'll eventually get one of those. But your sleeping pad is, like I said at the very beginning, it's one of the most important pieces that you're going to get. And I would almost recommend you get it first before your sleeping pad equipment, because you can get a cheaper sleeping pad that's a little bit, sleeping bag that does the job of keeping you warm. But your sleeping pad is not only going to keep you warm, it's also going to keep you comfortable and give you a good night's sleep. So that's my video, just reviewing these separate pads and talking about sleeping pads a little bit. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Hey guys, if you like the video you just saw, please subscribe, click the bell so you can get alerted for any new videos that I may do, and check the links below for any information I described in the video. I'll try to put as much there as possible. Thanks for watching.